Hey guys, Pappy here. Just want to give you guys a little video, see what's happening. Just relax and watch a little TV. Oh man, straight here. Okay. What's happening? How's everybody doing? Boring night. No Red Sox. They got rained out. Guess they're gonna play a day-night doubleheader tomorrow. So the Red Sox. It's the only team I really watch. You know. Hope you guys watch my videos. I need the subscribers. See what you can do. Share it. I want to give you guys just a little short video of how it was growing up in the 60s. Growing up in the 60s, we didn't have all these stores like they do today, and mom and pops on every corner. There was no stores like that. There was walking distance stores. There wasn't as many markets like there is today. It was, I remember the A&P, I remember the Almax, A&P, Big G, Food Mart, something like that. The old Mars Bargainland, that was Big G. Like I said, we had Fernandes, was another Fernandes supermarket back in the day. Fast food restaurants, there was no Burger Kings, there was, I think, one hamburger place, and it was Howdy Beef Burger. Pizza parlors, there maybe was 3, 4 the most. It was Faye's, it was Parafis, Tavano's, King of Pizza, one Lucalo's, just one. That's all I can remember. And Marafis maybe down the south end, and I think me and Eds were down there too also. But there wasn't many. And you went and got the pizza. Okay? People didn't have the money back in the 60s. Okay? To be spending it on fast food and dropping $175 or whatever per meal. Okay, we had to improvise. Like I told you guys in previous videos, we got surplus food. It was plentiful back then. Now they give it to these third world countries, but we could get the cheese, the peanut butter, we could get the turkey in the can, the spam, which I couldn't eat that. I mean, Jesus, that was awful. I mean, my mother would make something with it, and then I'd have to eat it, you know. Well, I'd have to eat it. You're hungry, you ate. We had the powdered milk. You know, there was less child obesity back then, less diabetes. I mean, even though we drank a lot of Kool-Aid, which was basically food coloring and sugar, but we didn't drink a lot of soda. You know, that was a rarity. If we went somewhere, we had an RC Cola. There wasn't many sodas. Your first diet soda was Tab. If you guys remember that, Tab, T-A-B. Then it was Diet Right. You know, there was not these multitude of sodas and stuff like that. Everything was pure too. A lot of it was pure back then. You had Cumberland Farms. They had their own warehouse. They manufactured their own bread and ice cream and everything. It was in Canton, Mass. Cumberland Farms was a big chain back then too. One of the biggest. Sunnybrook Farms was another one. And they had their own cows and everything. Back in the 60s, you improvised. There was no cell phones. There was no bottled water. If you were outside and you were lucky enough to have a spigot outside with a hose, you drink. You let it run for a couple of seconds because the hot water was, if it was 89 degrees, the water that was left in the hose was pretty hot. So you could get somewhat of cool water, and that's what you get your drink. You didn't go in the house every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. We stayed outside, we played for 5, 6, 7 hours until lunch was ready, or until supper was ready. We didn't have school lunches back then. We used to have to go home. We got out at 11:30, quarter of 12 or something, and we had to 1:45 to get back. I mean, it was all different back then. We walked to school. Yeah, there was some buses, but we walked to school back then. I can remember our parents buying us these big rubber boots with the metal clamps on them and putting plastic bags inside of them. Hey, we were dirt right poor. Six kids in our family. So, but I miss it to this day, growing up in the 60s. That's how I learned how to be a ball player. Okay? We had more pickup and sandlot ball games. You know, we didn't have instructors to teach us how to play. I learned how to play baseball off a foundation in the back of my house with my glove that I bought at the Salvation Army for 50 cents. It was an old Rawlings glove, Spalding, I forget, one of them, and with a pinky. Pinky was a sponge, baseball-like type thing, and it would take different angles as you hit the different crevices of the foundation, and you learn how to go from laterally to laterally, from back to forward, you know, go to the backhand, go to the scoops, stay low, work from the ground up. That's how I learned. I learned throwing fly balls to myself up against the 3-decker houses, and it would come off the roof and camp under them. That's how I learned. And then when I got into these sandlot games, you know, it was relatively easy. Our bases were boulders, for crying out loud. I can remember those days. I can remember playing back on Washburn Street, and my cousins can relate to this if they're looking at this video. And near the bakery, the Polish bakery, right on the side there, we used big boulders, and we had a hot ball or whatever we had, and it would break. We'd bring plenty of electrical tape with us, tape it up, and our bat would break, an old wooden bat, and we took screws and we'd tape it up just to keep playing. Pickup games between, we'd have 10, 15 kids in the neighborhood, keep picking different sides all day, all day, all day. And that's how we made it, you know, that's how we played. And then our parents would cook big dinners, but it was all scratch stuff from the scratch. My father was a first cook in the Army. He could cook. My mother was a decent cook. So, you know, we did eat pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to give you guys just a little how it was back in the 60s. And I'm sure the people who had it in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s had it probably tougher than us, way tougher than us. But my perspective of the 60s, when I was born, that's how it was. You know, that's how it was. And family holidays meant something. Now it's all commercialized. Never seen stores open up. I can remember back in the day, a Sunday would, a dedicated Sunday in the city would be opened up on a pharmacy. If you needed medicine, there was a certain pharmacy opened up. I guess they worked a schedule out yearly between the city pharmacies. And we'd go to, this Sunday might have been Lincoln Pharmacy. Following Sunday might have been Central Pharmacy. There was no, but these big conglomerate CVS's and stuff. There was a Brooks Pharmacy. I can remember Brooks. That goes way back. Now they're Rite Aids. they were around the 60s. But if you didn't get your stuff by Saturday, you were pretty much screwed. Okay? But everybody lived, right? And they lived good. Right? They lived good. Everything's way out of price. If you're renting, if any of you guys are renting and stuff like that, what is it? It's over half of your income goes to rent. It's way out of control. You know, I just wanted to give you guys a little, like I said, perspective of how it was back in the 60s. And I thought it'd be a good little story. There's plenty more I could talk about in the 60s and stuff like that, but like I said, I only can do 14-minute videos on this, and I don't want to cut it close. But, yeah, I just want to give you guys just, you know what I mean? And we had the dial rotary phones. We didn't even have the push-button phones. We had the dial rotary phones. And we had phone booths. Okay, phone booths were a dime. Okay, almost every corner was a phone booth. So, think about it. How you guys got it made now. High technology. The food you eat. Okay? At your ability, it's at your availability. That's what I want to say. Okay, there was no delivery. We had to go get it. My dad was in his, whatever he had, a 62 Falcon or whatever, and go and get it. You know, but those didn't have it, they walked. Walked a couple of blocks, 3 blocks, gotta get their food. Find it was a pizza bar or whatever. They didn't have a multitude of restaurants open. You know? So I just wanted to give you, like I said, a perspective of how it was in the 60s. Like, share, subscribe if you like my stories, my short stories, my videos. Like I said, I need subscribers. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow, God willing. Bye.